Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
And that need to be on the clip channel. You messing up the outro.
You weren't helping the situation. You weren't helping the situation at all. Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got Jason.
Yes, sir. Surreal J Smooth, also known as DJ Smooth, J Squad Beats in the building.
Make sure you're weighing. Go ahead and like and follow depending on what platform you're on. Make sure to check out us on the various different podcast platforms. All the links will be down below. Also, just so you know, we are on Instagram, so you can check us out there. That one is the OPN, Opinion Peace Networks. Check us out over there on Instagram. And also check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Clips, where you get small form factors of the podcast. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started with the podcast. Hey, man, so I got to ask you something, man.
What's going on, man?
You know, I've been wanting to talk about this. At first, I wanted to tell everybody, I apologize. I know we're 2 weeks late on talking about this. I tried to, but other things happened. But, man, well, I know you watched what went down with the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beat.
Yeah, I definitely kept tabs on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say this right now, man. I was reading your post about it, and man, you have it, because that was like my only time I really got to like react to it, because I had nobody else to react to because everybody else was busy. So I read your post going like, yeah, you're right. And then I read your post. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I so bad want to respond.
Hey, man, I mean, yeah, that's the only time I really post. And I don't really like posting a lot of text. Like, I can't really communicate the way I like to, text on social media. So I only engage in conversations I feel like I can really, that's worth my energy and time. Because people will be tripping, like they was tripping on this whole thing, on whatever side. But yeah, I was riding for Drizzy Drake, man, and OVO. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was siding with. But I wasn't biased like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And West Coast niggas was biased, bro.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to fight now. Like I said, I was a Kendrick Lamar kind of guy, Understand though, I get it. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a little bit of West Coast bias, but I could at least admit where one side was doing good over the other. But the good news is that now that at least I would say I had a chance, on like everybody else who got to react in real time, fair enough. And I wish we had a chance to. We at least now have the ability to go in and actually dissect the entire thing. And so I wanted to kind of, since you watched it, I wanted to go ahead and kind of go through it a little bit and hear about what you thought about the entire process and what happened.
For sure, man. I've been trying to, ever since, They Not Like Us came out, I just been trying to avoid everything. I just been staying on my side, man. Just like, taking the defeat gracefully like everyone should have. But yeah, I don't mind, touching on it again.
Okay, yeah, because I just been wanting to talk about this because the last podcast people didn't. Well, no, it's just people were busy, and so I just wanted to go over this. So let me bring it up real quick. I have it right here. I had the entire breakdown of each song and each track. Let me look at it. Okay, here it is. So just going down the list, the first one, which started all this off with Future Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar, Like That. And I think the only part that people cared about was the Kendrick Lamar part. So I wanted to know what you thought about that one.
Well, I've had a couple of arguments or debates with people who don't want to include Like That in this battle catalog, or this thing going back and forth, when I personally feel like it's the catalyst of what started this whole entire feud. And I feel like, you know, it wasn't just Kendrick dissing, it was a whole diss track altogether, including Future, including Metro Boomin. So although Future didn't directly come at Drake like Kendrick did, I feel like that track is included in the other songs. Now, other people want to say, well, no, we're going to go by individual tracks, just Kendrick tracks versus Drake tracks. So I don't think it's that simple, you know, simply because, you know, Metro was dissing Drake, Future and Kendrick was dissing Drake, and the whole song was basically a diss. So, I mean, I liked it when it came out. I liked that Kendrick started with the subliminals, like it wasn't direct shots, you know, like, you know, F the big three, nigga, it's just big me.
Big
Like,
me,
okay,
yeah.
we know we know where you're going with this, right? But I thought it was a cool, like, you know, cool little jab just to kind of see where niggas was at with it. And yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, I obviously, you know, Drake's song following up was obviously better than that, but for it to be what it was, you know, like I said, me personally, I include like that as the first diss song, and then Drake's response track after that, Push Ups was, I think, the actual response, you know, the second one to go in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. I mean, if you don't want to say it's a direct diss track, then fine. I mean, to me, it was the start. So it's like softball, like you said, seeing where niggas was at. I thought it was cool. Like, I mean, again, the part that I think that got everybody hyped was the Kendrick part, because that's the one that really went off. Like I said, that line is was like, what the fuck, the big three is only big me. Like that line, I could kind of see, okay, it's not really the, you know, like the big one or the big diss, but you know, it set the tone. I mean, I almost thought it was like the remember the control verse back which called during the BET
Yeah.
Awards. So yeah, I thought it was something
Yeah.
like that. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a control verse. He's gonna throw some jabs, and then that was gonna be it. But that's not what happened. And actually, before we
Nah,
get
that's not what
exactly, but actually before that, and I guess we'll go. I like to call it a little side quest. Before we get to push up, we got to start with J. Cole, because J. Cole was the first one, at least I heard, who did with the 7-minute drill.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Cole came out with 7-minute drill, and at first I hadn't heard the second half of it. I had only heard the first half, and I was like, oh, that's kind of mid, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think
Exactly.
it was
Yeah.
really. I was like, I don't know. And then I heard the second part. I was like, okay. I felt like that was his entry song. Like everybody had like a little entry track just to kind of show, like, all right, you know, I'm for the smoke. I'm with the drama. The fact that he apologized behind it kind of left me like, damn, nigga, you know, I get where you're coming from, Cole, how you're just enlightened now and you're more conscious and you just drama free and you don't really, but I kind of feel like he should have thought about that before putting the song out. You know, it seems like you kind of like, you know, walked up and like hit him and then ran away, which you see, like, you know, you didn't think about it before. So like Cole's one of my favorite rappers. Like obviously Big Three is really the Big Three to me, and he really, you know, to keep it a buck, like everybody was like, I was like, I think Cole's the one that can really get in that bag with Kendrick. Although Drake, I think is, you know, just up there with them. I just felt like, yo, if Cole's the one that Kendrick really don't want to see if it comes to this rap stuff. But Cole didn't. I mean, he didn't want the stuff for real. He's just like, nah, I'm cool, you know. And I almost felt like Drake needed him on his side, because this nigga Drake had 20 motherfuckers against him. You had like half the hip hop game was just on his line, so it was like an unfair fight going into this, where it was just like, okay, damn, I ain't never seen 20 people that aren't associated, you know, like from the same label. Like there's been beefs in the past where you've had like 5 people from the same label, you know, where they dissing the nigga and they like, okay, well, that's just what we on. We from the same label, we dissing. But to have so many different artists and a producer, you know, it's like what are we doing here? All against one person. And then, you know, for Drake and Cole to have made that that the song that prompted Kendrick to, you know, I guess make his first attack and then not be on his side, it was kind of like, all right, you know, but you know, I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, how I felt, number one, I feel exactly the same. Like, I was excited because J. Cole, I'm like that first track, I'm like, it's kind of mid, but I hear something. I'm like, okay, J. Cole, I know you're coming. Like, I was excited when I saw J. Cole. I'm like, I am for this is the one. Kendrick and J. Cole, I'm like, this is gonna be like a legendary beat. And I was
Yeah.
ecstatic for it. And then you're right. Now, my views have changed about the apology, but I'll get into that once we get to that part. But man, when I saw that apology, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too. And then I heard him talk about it, and I was just like, I mean, I still got my opinions on it. I feel like as a man, like I don't know, it's this very, very weird feeling because I know I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, it's hip hop. But at the same time, you know, Cole is, like I say, just very conscious. He probably thinking like, man, this could go somewhere, you know what I'm saying, where he don't want it to go. It could really get bit blown out of proportion, which I kind of felt was happening. Was like I felt like if Drake and Kendrick had moved past the point they were at, it could have got to that level as well because it's just a very dirty game. You know, it's a very dirty. You saying the worst things you can think of and find about another person. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that maybe has something to play in it. You know, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, all right, I feel you. Like I get it, I respect it, but it's just hip hop. Like you kind of, this is what it is. Like, you know, you need to, you know, you gotta get out there. But you know, it is what it is.
I agree because I know when I first saw that apologize, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I just was not happy about that. Was just one of those things because, like you said, it is hip hop. And you know, going back to when you said like he should have thought about it. I mean, I personally think like he had to say something. You can't just let Kendrick
Yeah,
says do that and not say something. But I think he said something like he said, I didn't sleep good, so I'm about my peace. I guess, but I mean, if you want to call yourself, I mean, I guess everybody else is calling the big three. Fair enough. I'll say that. But I mean, to me, to be, you know, one of the top rappers, I mean, come on, you can't just go out like
yeah,
that. You know, it didn't feel good. I wasn't happy about it, but I mean, it's what he decided to do. I mean, he's a man, but I mean, I know I was reading on what you call it. I was reading one of the posts and they said 50 Cent found out was telling J. Cole to call him, which was hilarious.
but yeah. 50 know all about that smoke and them rap beats, you know. And I
Hmm.
just think that I mean to keep it a buck with you. So I am a huge fan of all three rappers. I
Yes.
just have a particular style of rap that I like. I'm really into bars. I'm really into punches. You know, metaphors, double entendres. I'm like a real bar heavy guy. I'm into battle rap heavy. So I just like when people say things a certain way that's different. So Drake is my favorite rapper right now, but I always just have him and Cole going at each other like, yo, these niggas just really be crazy on the, you know. I always had Kendrick as my third, and I would
Mm.
have Drake and Cole. You know, at any given day, I'm just like, I don't know. And then Cole is crazy. He might move up to number one as interchangeably between them top two spaces. Now, Cole is definitively number three. It
Yeah,
has to
pretty
be.
much.
You
Pretty
have
much.
to be.
Pretty
You
much.
have to be. After doing what you did, I cannot, you know, it's like, cool, bro, but you have to definitively be number three.
I mean, I'll say this much. I'm really sad because I really wanted to see what Cole could do because I really like that first track, especially when he was talking about Kendrick's catalog. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm like, oh, I really wanted to see J. Cole. J. Cole was someone I was really more, I'll be honest, I was more
yeah.
excited for J. Cole than I was for Drake.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I mean they're more similar in style.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more similar. They're both kind of, you know, you could call conscious rappers that really talk about substance in their music. And yeah, that's what I was just because I keep like I listen to Cole rap now. I'm like, yo, this nigga really be rapping. Now
Yeah.
Drake really be rapping too, but people aren't real Drake fans. Like I'm a real Drake fan. I'm a Drake fan since high school. Like before he even got signed to Young Money, you know. So I know that he really raps. Now a lot of people discovered him after he did made all his pop songs or you know the songs that he first came out with. I'm like, no, bro, he really be rapping. So they not really tapped into his pen, like how he really be flowing on the track. That's my favorite style from him is when he's just going off on the track. So I know how he can get out there on the rap. But when it came to the opponent being Kendrick, I'm like, nah, I'd rather see Cole go
Yeah.
at him than
Yeah.
Drizzy for real. So
Yeah. Exactly. I definitely 110% agree with that. And like I'll just say this. I said it before. I'm the opposite of you. I'm more of a Kendrick fan. So if I was to put it in order, at least for what it was now, for me it would have been Kendrick, J. Cole, and then Drake. But that's me. I'm more a Kendrick fan than a Drake fan. And I'm gonna be honest, I do have a West Coast bias. I'm not gonna lie. That's just me though. But that's just the order. That's just how I feel about it. So, you know, just to be out there. So there's some honesty. I'm kind of on the opposite. I've been rocking with Kendrick Lamar since Section 80. So,
right,
you know,
right, yeah,
I heard yeah, I heard some of his mixtapes. Like, yeah, I'm always been more of a Kendrick fan. I've always liked Kendrick's flow. I don't know, like I'm just more of a Kendrick guy. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't listened to Drake in a long time. First time I discovered Drake was probably in college. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a consistent Drake listener. I will say there are a lot of tracks I do like a Drake. I'm not gonna sit there and say Drake ain't a great rapper, you know, especially with his legacy, but he's kind of not what I kind of gravitate to. So
right.
more like Kendrick, J. Cole is more what I gravitate to. So that's just me though. But I just want to put it out there so we kind of understand where we both stand. So
Yeah, I already know. Most kids,
yeah.
but that's what's funny. Most Kendrick Lamar fans are exactly like you. So like it's not even like a typecast where like my peel like so the thing is I wanted when I was making my post and making my opinions,
Mhm.
I tried my best as a person that is into music and that critiques music as a fan of music and that is into battle rap as a
Yeah.
whole, like the battle rap scene. I tried to do this unbiasedly as possible because I am from the West. So in a way, it's like I'm torn because I fuck with Kendrick and I'm from the West. So I want my West nigga that was born in the States, you know, to win in a way where it gets a Canadian rapper. But at the same time, I wasn't in a position where I couldn't acknowledge either side doing well
Yeah.
at any point during the battle. And then there was just so many people on Facebook that were Kendrick fans or ride for Kendrick that couldn't be unbiased. They
Yeah.
just couldn't do it. They were just like, no, I don't care what Drake says. He's trash. He's not winning at any point. Kendrick's bodying him and Kendrick's the best. I'm like, well, now I can't really respect your opinion because if you can't listen to this unbiasedly, then you're going to think whatever this man does in response isn't good. So a lot of Kendrick fans are kind of like, yeah, I'm Kendrick fan, I'm biased. I don't really fuck with Drake like that. And it's like, okay, I get it, you know, but then you're not going to be able to listen with a clean perspective because I was listening, being a fan of both. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. No, this is crazy. No, he kind of got you here. He got you there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just listening from I think it's just a different space of being a musician, an artist, you know, just trying to see who the best man is and who's gonna win.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I respect that. I mean, the thing with me, I'll just be honest, it wasn't the fact of, and if I was to be totally honest, when I actually listened to it, it wasn't the fact of I didn't think Drake got him in certain ways, but it's more of like I'm one of those guys where I've always had this saying of never count out the West Coast guy ever.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
true.
so that's the thing. So it wasn't the fact of I wasn't gonna give Drake a chance. Cause I get what you say. Some people are just like Kendrick, Drake. Everything he does was trash. I, I like I said, I do him in my bias, but I don't feel like I was doing that. I feel like I know I want to listen to what Drake got to say, but I'm like I think Kendrick has more, and the whole entire time, it's okay. This is cool, but I think Kendrick is gonna get you, and we'll get
Yeah.
there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's go through each track. We'll get there.
All
All
right.
right. Next one, and which you already brought up was push up leaks.
Right.
So because they said that one was a leak. So let me ask, do you think that was a leak? Do you think that was a filler, or like what do you think about that one?
It wasn't a leak. If it was, he leaked it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think like every other song he put out,
Yes.
whether it was on the gram or Spotify, YouTube. So it might have been a leak, though. You never know. Like, especially with all the allegations of like him having people in his camp or whatever. I mean, when it dropped at first, people thought it was AI, and I was like, that's not AI. I know the difference between AI and Drake, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, to me, just the way, like, to me, when push-ups dropped, I was like, okay, like, now he's up. Like, it's up because
I'll
he
give you
really, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll
it
give you
was,
that.
yeah, I was like, he's up, it's lit, whatever you thought you was, and the reason why I say like that was the first track is because Drake's first track in push-ups was a direct response to like that.
Yeah.
Right? It was a rebuttal to the little shit he was saying in that song, and he was just like, nah, bro, like you when you drop, you gotta give them 50. Now when niggas, if they not really in the metaphors, really would just think, oh, he's telling them to do push-ups. Like, no, nigga, he's telling them that when you drop, you got to give 50% of your royalties to TDE. So, like, just the stuff he was saying, like the size 7, you know, man, shit, okay, that was cool. That was like, but like, it was some things in there where it was like, okay, this is my version of whatever you tried to do in your song. You know what I'm saying? And like that, because like I said, I really think all three of them niggas was dissing him, and like they were. So, yeah, man, I mean, I liked it a lot, actually.
I will say, because, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of those tracks that I kind of got lost in the sauce with me, because once the other stuff started dropping, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
one,
no, yeah.
yeah, this is one of those ones that I'm just like I'm looking at it like, yeah, I remember it, but I don't remember it that well, because everything else after this one just got better and harder and better. Like, I'll be honest with you, this is my favorite one that Drake did yet. That one's coming
for
up.
sure.
But yeah, but
No.
but yeah, like, because I know, like, when I looked it up, basically everybody said like this was a leak. This was not supposed to come out. But I guess it did. From what I read, and from what was being said, like this one wasn't supposed to be a leak. I personally think, which what you just said, if he did leak this, he chose to leak it.
Yeah,
that's what I
believe
believe.
so.
Yeah,
I believe he chose to leak it, and just in the things he was saying, that's why I keep trying to tell niggas, like, stop telling me like that. It's not the first diss, because it is, because everything Drake was, it was 3 niggas versus Drake. He said, Metro, shut your ass up and make some drums, nigga. That's the biggest quotable out of the song.
yeah.
Metro, shut your ass up and make some drums, nigga. So it's like, oh, okay, all 3 of you niggas want to make us, because that's what, like, in my POV, that's what I'm looking at. Everybody focused on Kendrick's part. I focused on the fact that Future was even on a song with Metro,
Yeah,
and Kendrick. They teamed up. That's what happened. All 3 of them niggas said, we hate Drake.
mm-hmm.
We're going to make a song and go at this nigga, because as everybody knows, Metro has produced a lot of songs for Drake.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And Future's biggest songs ever have come from doing projects with Drake. Like, the people, like, just when I saw that alone, I was like, why is Metro over here doing a song with Future? And Kendrick already knew what it was before I heard the song. So it was a planned attack, to where Drake said, like, damn, that's why he said in the song, like, it's a 20 versus 1, nigga. Like, he felt like that, so he had to come at everybody in one song.
It was.
Yeah,
it was that everybody's getting. I mean, like, I'm jumping the gun in a little bit, but everybody's kind of going at Drake right now. So yeah, like, I get it. I mean, and spoiler alert, because we'll get there in a sec, I do kind of feel like that was kind of a mistake, I think that, looking at
Right.
it now, he probably should have focused on one person.
Yeah.
But, I get it. At that time, you're in the middle of a battle in a war zone, so you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's like, I get it. I think that the strategy was wrong, but he did what he felt was best. Because yeah, everybody was coming after him. Actually, I have, which is next on my list, was the which is not really something I really care about. I just want to, just bring it up, like the Rick Ross champagne moments, which that one was a
Yeah.
pretty that was a it's one of those things where it was a tough diss track, but I really didn't want to hear from Rick Ross.
Yeah, right. You didn't want to hear nothing Rick Ross has to say. He's another person whose biggest song ever is the Drake feature.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking of everything, and I'm just kind of like, all right, but like you guys, it's a lot of different dynamics other than just the music here where I judge it, and kind of when I pick the winner of this, it's just like this man is at the top of the game, and everybody's trying to pull him down, and he has to respond.
Yeah.
So if you looked at the songs, he didn't focus too much attention. He just said, Metro, shut your whole ass up.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like that. And then he mentioned that nigga on another song. So he just kind of, it's like being jumped in a fight.
He was being jumped.
In a real fight.
He was.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to say he was being jumped. Not even going to lie.
It's like, yeah, it's like if you getting jumped in real life, Kendrick's like the Debo.
Yeah.
So like, and then you got these other little niggas where you trying to knock them out quick. Boom, Metro, let me get you a right hand hook with the set your whole ass up. Ross, let me get you a little hit. You know what I'm saying? And then he's trying to hit on all these other niggas to get them out the way to kind of touch on the fact that they said something about him. And then now you got to go face to face with Debo. That's why I wish Cole would have stuck in the battle with Drake. I wish he would have stuck around because Drake would have, I want to say he needed help, but fuck, nigga, everybody was, you know what I'm saying, really coming at this nigga, not to say that he, like they really was relevant for real, but they just, everybody had something to say. I mean, you listen, Metro didn't put out a whole instrumental on niggas, and
which we'll get there. We'll get there with that one. We'll get there with that one.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So from Rick Ross, we get to the Tailor Made, which to me, it kind of caused a lot of drama. I don't think AI was the best way to go about it. I don't think I would have done the AI. I get what he was doing, but I don't, especially with how people are feeling about AI, especially. I mean, like I said, you're big into music. I know you have your feelings about AI. Probably was the wrong way to go about it.
I loved it. Let me tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you why I loved it. One, because and I feel like I'm gonna compare this later to another the most creative tracks to me.
Okay.
That was Drake's most creative track to me because one, when that song dropped, when Push-Ups dropped, people thought it was AI.
Yeah.
Like that was a narrative that was going around. There was no official release. It was like, nah, this might be AI. And then in my eyes, knowing how calculated Drake is, I said for people to think your first response is AI, and then you actually use AI in your next response, not only did you use it, but you used it in the form of duplicating someone's voice, because that's clearly Drake rapping. So people don't really know how AI works. They think that this nigga said, write me a verse as Snoop Dogg and write me a verse as Tupac, and then it just put a song verse together. No, what happened was he wrote those bars, rapped it in his cadence, and said, I'm going to troll Kendrick with his idols on a West Coast beat and use AI to talk to this nigga. Like, hey, Kendrick, the West Coast needs you, to save you. Like, I thought it was creative. Now, was it his best one? At least, no, it wasn't. But I thought the creativity behind it was controversial. He knew it was gonna stir up shit because he used Tupac, right? Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like it was his best strong right, like especially after dropping push-ups. It was his best strong overhand upper, like overhand jab uppercut. Like he tried to hit him. But what he thought was this nigga was like Meek Mill or something.
Yeah.
Because, to try to go back to back on Kendrick, that ended up backfiring. We'll get into that. But I think that the fact that he tried to think, he's thinking, what can I do to kind of set myself apart and be creative? Oh, y'all thought push-ups was AI? Well, let me show you what can be done with AI. And then, Kendrick, I'm going to talk to you as your idols and let you know that you letting these niggas down as being a West Coast legend. It was cool. It wasn't super, super duper duper fire, but I thought that it was creative in the way he went about putting that song together and then hopping on the end of it to say, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it was kind of, it's never been done before. How about that?
I mean, I'll say this. I agree with the idea of it. I 110% agree. I thought it was a great idea to have it out. That I agree with. My issue is that it took people out of it and it started becoming a thing where Pox Estate came in, talk about, I don't like that stuff.
Right.
I don't like that's the issue where it took everybody out of it and it made it more of a, oh crap, you're using AI. We're not trying to make this popular. This is going to hurt the whole entire industry. That's what I didn't like about it. I love the idea. I love exactly what you said is how I felt about it. But I'm just like, it's going to take people out because people are concerned about AI taking over. And now people want to say, well, you're the reason why AI is going to take over and stuff. And now you're letting it in. So it took it out of it. And that's what I didn't like about it. But I do agree the idea of it was genius. I wish it could have just stayed, especially with Pac. Pac is a big one. I think you probably could have got away with it with Snoop, but Pac is a big one. And, especially out here, people feel a certain way when you bring up Pac. So,
that's what he was trying to, I mean, I think that's even made it harder on him on the West Coast when shit started rolling out because they was already like, fuck, most people already don't fuck with you. They hate you going into this battle. Then you do something with a Pac AI. You know what I'm saying? Then you going against Kendrick from the West. So he just kind of built up, he made his battle that much harder just by doing those moves. But I agree with you. Yeah, it was controversial for sure. I just thought the idea behind, not even the song itself.
Yes, I agree.
I just thought the idea of him like, nah, these are your idols. These are the biggest, West Coast legends in hip hop. I'm going to talk to you as them and tell you what they should be telling you right now. And then I'm going to hop on the end of it and concur with them to where we're talking to you now as, as a collective type, John. So it was cool though. It was all right, but I agree with what you said though.
Yeah. And then another one on the side, talk about Drake getting jumped. The Weeknd jumping in and dissing him.
Yeah.
That's random. What?
So many ex-OVO, man. That man must have did something. He must have did something, bro.
From my understanding, with now everything's coming out, which we'll get into the fallout after all this. But from my understanding, there was definitely some fallout and some stuff came out about Drake, which is like, But now that we skip past that part, now we get to the main event, which to me was one of my favorite tracks. And this was the track that like woke me up. Euphoria.
Man, Euphoria's fire, bro.
Oh, that's hard.
Euphoria. That was when Euphoria dropped. I had to make my post and amend my previous post.
Yeah.
And say, yes, I think it's safe to say Kendrick is back up with this battle because that shit was fire from the beat to just like he went crazy. Like that's one of my, I really have two favorites from both sides out of this whole thing, and that's one of them. Yeah, two songs that I would just actually like listen to because I think they shifted momentum when they dropped. Like I think it was just kind of like, oh shit, okay, this is what we're doing type things. That's one of my favorites for sure. Euphoria is kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah, that one that's the one I was just like, oh my, like I blew my mind. Like this is my, like I'm like this was the one. This is the one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is this one and well, actually, technically 3 for me, but that was the one that just had me just like. I mean, I don't even need to go down it. Like, I'll tell everybody just listen to it. You understand why that one's gonna go down in history.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest diss tracks.
Yeah,
then,
that was crazy.
This is one of those ones that to me got lost in the sauce, which was 616 in LA. This is one of those ones that Kendrick did. I just got lost in the sauce. I can't really remember it.
Yeah, I compared that kind of to like the Tailor Made. Like, it was like cool, wasn't bad, but I think that when we're going and thinking, like, even if you start comparing their one-on-one songs, it's like, you know, both kind of put out the one that people was really talking about, and that stage between Push Ups, Tailor Made, what you say, was it the Euphoria and this, what's the LA one? See, I don't even know the name
in
of
LA.
it.
616
in LA.
Yeah.
The ones people really was talking about at that time would have been Push Ups and would have been Euphoria, right? Like, those were the best from each artist at that point. But, you know, Kendrick back-to-back them, you know what I'm saying? And I think nobody really expected that. Kendrick did a lot of stuff that I think nobody really expected him to do. Nobody expected him to drop the way he drops, bro. And Euphoria is crazy. The follow up, I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, it was kind of the same way I thought about you know, Tailor Made. I was like, okay, I think it's cool, it's creative, you know, but I think, you know, it was really those two where it was like, okay, well, that Euphoria definitely put him up in the battle for sure.
What was the one? What's it? 616 was a Euphoria where he warned Drake, like, don't talk about the family. Which one was that? That was 616 in LA, right?
What do you mean specifically? Because I know in Euphoria he said, if you don't tell no lies on me, I won't tell no truths on you.
Yeah, Euphoria. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, thank you. I think that's the line I was looking for. Yeah, that was the one where, like, people said, and I think that was the bait. That was the one where he was like, where I'm like, Drake should have never took that bait. But like, and that's what people are saying. They're saying like that line Kendrick was trying to bait Drake to say something so he could go to that next level. Because I'll be honest,
he said something. No, that's what people see. What niggas not understand, unless I'm tripping, Kendrick threw real dirt first. In Euphoria,
think you're right.
See, everything was cool. I said that. Everything was kind of like, all right, barn, you know, whatever, cool. But when Kendrick said, you don't know nothing about that, about raising your son, I thought it was over at that point.
He did say that. You're right.
The gloves are off.
You're right.
Now the gloves are off. Drake had really never said anything of that caliber for sure in Push Ups. And Tailor Made, he just was just rap. Like, there was no family or personal, real personal things being brought up until this nigga Kendrick said, you know, nothing about raising your kid. And I think at that point, because everything else is just simple rap. Like, you know, when you stand next to Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You probably pop ass with them. So, like, that is just like, okay, cool. You think I'm gay, whatever. But I think once Kendrick, and I don't know why people keep saying, oh, Drake, like, no, Kendrick definitely kind of really turned it up a level in Euphoria for sure. And, you know, but hey, you know.
You are right. Okay, yeah, you're right. I'll give you that one. You are right. But now this was my favorite one that Drake did was Family Matters. That was my shit from Drake. I love Family Matters. The craziest thing is to get the full of that song, you gotta watch the music video.
Yeah, right. Yes, you do. Yeah. Yes. I didn't really notice it. And the homie was like, no, that's the good kid. Mad City band, nigga. Like,
Yep.
that's his mama band. Like, no, yeah, Family Matters once again. So I just kept changing my perspective based on what I was hearing. Like, that's me being unbiased.
Yes.
You know, I felt like when Push Ups dropped, Drake was up. I felt like when Euphoria dropped, Kendrick was up definitively. And then when Family Matters dropped, I said, okay, the tides have turned again. That's just what my post was. I didn't really sit on a side of just like listening and just being like, yeah, it's cool. But like, no, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Those that's I'm like, yo, this shit is, you know, with the then ain't that the one with the trip ain't that the one with the triple beat in there with the three
Yes. Yeah, that was one of the triple B. Because
Yeah.
at the beginning he was dissing everybody, then he started focusing on Kendrick at the second part.
Yeah, I mean, once the
Yeah.
trap beat came on, bro went bananas. And he
Yeah.
really was just like, oh, you brought up my kid? Well, nigga, you beat on your wife.
But
And
yeah.
you might not,
Yeah.
that might not be your kid. And, you know, that's when he started really like, I was like, okay, like this is, now we're here at this level of this rock.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was crazy. I mean, but like I said, that to me was the best one from Drake. That was the one that I remember. Family Matters was like that was the one I'm like, oh, nice. Like I'm like, okay, Euphoria was the big one for Drake. I mean, for Kendrick at the time, but Family Matters was one. I'm like, okay, yeah, now this is a battle. Now we're at this stage until Meet the Gram.
Yeah.
That one was little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet the Grams third.
That one was I love watching everybody on the internet when they heard that song. Everybody had the same reaction, like, ooh.
Yeah, I liked so Meet the Grams is the one I compare to like creative wise. I think that was Kendrick's most creative song he made out of this entire rap battle. To sit down and like take the reason why I'm like, okay, he's basically like a family therapist here. You know, pretty much talking to this nigga's entire family. I thought that was very creative. I thought that's the one I compared to Taylor Made because they thought outside it wasn't just a traditional diss track. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking shit about you and we going back and forth and all. He was just like, nah, bro, I'm about to sit you down and talk to your whole family. So I thought that was very, very creative, the angle he took on Family Matters. Yeah.
I'm glad.
But then, you know, it goes back to I liked it, but then once again, I'm really like big on like bars. So like what he talked. So to kind of break this down, in battle rap, right, it's different type of styles, and some people are, you know, they do something in a battle rap where they say they talking to you. So it's not about punchlines, metaphors, similes, double entendres. They just talking real shit to you.
Yeah.
So that real shit that they talking to you is impactful because I ain't gotta make it and say it in no different way. This is just time I'm talking to you real shit. And then there's other times where rappers is just straight up barring up. I really am I'm a really bar heavy type person. So when I listen to Family Man, I was like, that's cool. I liked it because of its creativity, not so much how he was saying what he was saying. It was what he was saying directly. Like, I don't think he didn't say, in my opinion, he didn't say anything in a creative manner. It was just more of like, no, nigga, you fucking horrible dad. You know, I'm sorry your son has to have you as a father. Like that, it was just straight, just cold bloodedness, you know. But like I said, I got a lot of rapper friends, man, I had a lot of rapper friends. I was kind of biased too. They was just like, bro, that shit sucks. Like I was like, nah, I don't suck, man. Like he rapping, but they like bars. That's what I'm saying. They like
that makes
being
sense.
able to say something, to be able to say something without saying it directly. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes is you can say you say something have the same impact that you would have said just verbatim straight up, but you can just rap it in a different form. And that's what kind of some people were just like, he's not really barring up, he's just, but those are just different preferences in rap,
Yeah. First thing I want to say, I'm happy that I have you on here because I'm glad I'm getting the creative side of things because that's not what I was thinking at all. When I heard this, I'm like, these are fighting words.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
yeah. I'm like, I don't care who it is. We gotta fight. Like, no, like, ain't no way in hell you're gonna do all this. And I'm just because you talk about a man's child, his mom, his dad, those disrespectful. I'm like, this took it to an entire level where I'm just like at first I'm like, okay, this is all fun. This is like this is the. Then this came out. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, this is
it.
Yeah, this is the one. I'm like, this is gonna affect the career. I'm like, I remember this was okay. This is where I said again. This is the moment where I'm going to say it right here. I had to apologize to J. Cole. I'm like, I see why you're not why you backed out. I'm with you, man. Because that changed everything. The entire mood got changed. Like I was like. I listened to that one. Even me, I'm just like, what am I listening to? I said, and like the way it starts right away. I thought, okay, it's gonna go. No, he said it. He said, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. It was a direct attack. It was like I said, they both had to those last three songs, you get what I'm saying? Like Euphoria, Family Matters,
and Meet the Grams.
And then Meet the Grams. It escalated very fast. Like each song took it up another level. You know what I'm saying? Like Euphoria was like, damn, okay, we're taking it there. We personal, it's gloves off, we out here. And then Family Matters was like, oh nigga, you might not even I'm on your family's head. Like I'm talking about your baby mama, you've already invited, now we're there. And then Kendrick was like, oh, you thought that was something? I'm about to sit and address your entire family for real. So I think the level just kept rising those last three tracks. Like I think once the gloves was off, Drake tried to top that, you know what I'm saying, with Family Matters. And then Kendrick did top that just on a personally wise, just like straight disrespect with Meet the Grams. It was lit at that point.
Yeah, I think, and then after that, the cherry on top, which this is the point where I'm just like, I'm like this is bad. Was Not Like Us.
Man,
that one, and to me, that was like say yes, the three best ones was Euphoria, Family Matters, and Meet the Grams. Those three were like, did Not Like Us. Man. That was the thing that caused a lot of issue because I'm just gonna say, I know we're not supposed to say on YouTube, but I'll cut it out. But he made calling Drake a hit. That's not good.
Yeah. I mean, so I was DJing a champagne party when Not Like Us released, and it's crazy because it came out so fast. Kendrick's rate of dropping music is a part, like, let's not confuse this. He dropped faster than Drake did. He dropped more and faster than Drake. He had he had quality and quantity. Mm-hmm. Like the rate at which he dropped definitely contributed to him winning this battle. For sure. It did. He just was dropping more and it was fire. The fact that I had DJed this party, and I think like earlier that day, because it came out the same day as
Meet the Grams.
Yeah, it came out the same day.
Yeah.
So I was still on some like we up from Family Matters. Like that was my last post because that was like the day before.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Yeah.
Right? So like I'm at the party and I'm DJing and I'm like, okay, I had already heard Meet the Graham. So I'm like, okay, but I don't think that's better than Family Matters, so we still up, whatever. And I'm at this party and I get on Facebook and a nigga at the party like, yeah, Kendrick just dropped. I said, it's impossible. He just dropped like this morning. What do you mean he dropped again? What are you talking about? I was just completely taken back by it. And for the first time, me and everybody at that party, because like I said, I'm unbiased, dude, I said, yo, this nigga Kendrick Lamar just dropped a new track. And I played it and like stood in front of the speaker and was like, nah, this battle's over. I knew it was over immediately. As soon as I heard Mustard on the beat, I said, oh shit, the battle is over. And I just had to take in the fact that this is another creative, like Kendrick was just more
sugar-free flow. Sugar-free flow.
Yeah, he was more. What's crazy is Drake is a very calculated person. He does things very, very calculated. But Kendrick was ultra calculated. It's like a chess match. You know what I'm saying? Like a chess match.
Yeah.
They both chess masters, but this nigga Kendrick was like, Drake was thinking 2 steps ahead. Kendrick was thinking 3. Like he was thinking beyond. Like, okay, what's the thing that I can do to end this shit? Oh, let me do the same thing you did to Meek Mill with Back to Back.
Yep.
Oh, let me create a club banger that's gonna play, that motherfucker's gonna play on repeat, and make it it was genius. Make it a West Coast party track with Mustard and make it a banger. That once that happened, I was like, bro, there's nothing you can do. And then Drake responded after that, which I mean, he was getting off, but it was just like, let me, Not Like Us is fire. So that's my 2 favorite songs is Euphoria and Not Like Us. Like those are the ones I'm gonna sit and listen to forever because, bro, Not Like Us is.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Not Like Us, I wasn't really feeling it at first because I'm like, okay, this is not what I was looking for until I heard the try to strike a chord and they call it A minor. I'm like, oh God. I said, oh God. Like, what is this? And then I started listening again. I'm like, okay. Then I see myself. I'm like, I'm dancing to it. This ain't good.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not good, bro. Because it was just like, bro, he had a chance saying OV ho. Like Kendrick wrote that song really, really well. It was a diss track
to it.
Bro. Bro, it's really good, man. Oh. It's going to go down as one of the best diss tracks of all time. For sure. I mean, it just is. It's gonna go down as one of the best diss tracks of all time, and it is gonna have such an impact in music because people are gonna be playing it all summer. Even though it's probably gonna be one of those songs where it came out in the damn spring, but it's going to be played all summer. And I don't know, it was just a genius checkmate. Like that was a checkmate move. Like, all right, let me end this right quick.
And the other thing that, and I want to just give a shout out to Metro for putting out the first beat diss, which I never heard of before.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, wait a minute, what? So that's something else. I was like, that's history making. I never heard of a beat diss. That was the first one. I'm like, okay, now we have something new added to hip hop.
That's true. Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I think it's I think it's a tad corny. I think it's just a tad bit corny because the corniness comes from Rick Ross in the first place. I think Rick Ross was very corny through this entire process. If you look at his social medias for like 2 weeks straight, he was just talking nothing about Drizzy because he was getting clout off that. I'm sorry, ain't nothing else, no other way to see it. This nigga Ross said Drizzy is a trending topic. I'm on it. I'm mentioning him in every video, and he's the one that created the BBL Drizzy narrative, right? Yes, he's the one that created that, the white boy BBL Drizzy narrative, which I just think, and And then, Metro had to respond because Drake told him to shut his whole ass up and make some drums. So on Metro's side, I don't, I'm like, hey, Metro, yeah, you needed to put something out, right? Like, I mean, you had already had like that song, but that was prior to him telling you to shut his whole ass up and make some drums. And there was a meme song, AI meme song going on just with Drake telling him to shut his whole ass up and make some drums.
Yeah.
I felt, you know what I'm saying? The little Spanish song. So like it was already
But no, what he did,
bad for him.
But what Metro did that was smart was he made a contest out of it. So everybody on YouTube was making like a diss track against Drake. I'm like, gee.
Yeah. See, and that's where that's where the dynamic shift. And I just, so when I look at this whole thing overall, and then Drake responded with the last song,
heart part 6, which that was kind of like a Well, okay, so I just want to say this before you go. I do want to say this from my understanding, because a lot of businesses were getting involved, which we'll talk about that once we do the full breakdown. I guess they asked them to bow out because they were losing money. Like the company started losing money off of this. That's why the base of the heart was just basically saying all of a sudden Kendrick said isn't true. That's a lie. That's what that really was.
I mean, it's like this. He had to address it either way.
Did. Yeah, you're right.
I feel like Drake is always in a lose-lose situation. Anyone that is in a high position like that, when allegations are put onto you, you're in a lose-lose situation because of the position you're in. So, prime example, like niggas just seem to not care that Drake said he beats on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's talking about that narrative. They just like, yeah, whatever, right? And there's nothing into that, and they don't care that he said that you might not have a kid and all whatever Drake said about Kendrick. Most people was like, oh, that's crazy, like that's shocking. But they didn't. Everything that was said against Drake was magnified because who he is, and the fact that he had to defend himself. Like to me, I think. Well, my personal opinion, Drake came out of this losing a battle, but he did a really good job considering what he was up against. Like, you had 20 motherfuckers that really tried their best to get you up out of here. Like, you had to fight all this different stuff, and then you had a giant like Kendrick that was really trying to put you in the dirt. Because at the end of the day, what's the truth is, Kendrick's gonna have his number one because of Drake, right? Yeah. Like everybody, Drake is the common denominator for a lot of these people. For Metro, for Future, for Rick Ross, for The Weeknd. We would not know who The Weeknd was if it wasn't for Loving the Crew.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, Drake is the one that has really made Kendrick on his first tour. So, like, I know that's not, ultra relevant as far as the battle goes, but it's just like all these people that he used to work with and be cool with, he is now enemies with and have to defend himself. And then these allegations come out and you got to speak on it. So, like, if he didn't speak on it, niggas be like, well, see, he ain't saying nothing about it. He's silent. He ain't saying nothing. It got to be true. And then if you come out and defend it, they like, well, of course he ain't going to say that he's he's this and that, he likes kids, and whatever the situation is, they're not. So he's in a lose-lose, and that was, to me, that was like, waving the white flag song. Like, you got it, but just to let you know that that's cap for the record. Like, for the record, that's what you saying is cap. You got it. And he was barring up in that song, too, so it's not one of my favorite ones, but he wasn't just not rapping. People were like, oh, it was a defense song. No, it was a rebuttal. Yeah. He still touched on some other people, and because he's still defending himself against all these the niggas. A$AP Rocky had something to say, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, why everybody hopping on this train? But the reality of the situation is, bro, Drizzy's gonna drop for the summer. It's gonna be like a regular summer, bro. Like, ain't nothing. Everybody got bread that was associated with this. Bloggers got bread from reviewing it on YouTube. Kendrick and Drake made hella bread off of them YouTube and Spotify streams. Kendrick's career is now going to be bigger because of Drake. Like, because of Drake, Kendrick is now introduced into a larger audience.
Yeah.
Because Drake is a worldwide artist, and Drake, for his fans and people that support him, nobody's gonna not like. He's gonna drop, and it's still gonna be a Drake hit. Like, so, career wise, to me personally, until anything is proven on either side, any of the allegations, it's nothing. Nobody's gonna. Drake is not gonna lose any endorsements because someone said he did something. It's not how it works. He's too big of an icon for that. I just think he's gonna drop, and it's gonna be like any other fucking day he drops, because time moves on. People are not gonna forget what happened, but that he makes such good music that they're gonna be like, all right, New Jersey drop, and I don't see anything really going beyond that.
I feel a little bit different because of what I've been seeing outside of hip hop. Is the problem. One thing I noticed, and I've been, I'm sure like I look at political stuff from time to time, and this beef has came up, but everybody's talking about the allegations against Drake. Videos are now starting to come out against Drake. I think I think he had a shoe that just came out, and those didn't sell well. I'm trying to see what happens when Drake, comes out with his next song, but I don't know. As of right now, from what I see, I don't know if Drake comes out of this clean. I think there might be a dent in his career, and the problem is those allegations are serious to the point where I'm hearing people that ain't even hip hop fans talking about this dude, and I'm like, that's not good.
But without proof, see, this is the thing. This nigga R. Kelly had allegations for 30 years and was able to be a number one. R. Kelly had known allegations for 30 years, and it wasn't until he was tried and convicted that the fall of R. Kelly happened. Throughout his entire career, a lot of these people you talking about knew, was friends, the industry knew. He didn't lose no money. It's just the way it goes. Until you were, same thing with Diddy.
Well, I mean,
like you got like
which we are which was going to be my next topic, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'll segue. I mean, I just want to touch on it to the fact to say, because me and my girlfriend had a debate over this, and I'm like, look, babe, as much as I fuck with Jizzy and a big fan, any of this stuff comes out to be true with proof, and it's actually like official, I will no longer support that. But people aren't gonna jump. Like, what's happening to Diddy is happening to Diddy now that things are progressing in a way where it's like, nah, bruh, these allegations are now proven to be true. Because there's a lot of speculation. I've seen the videos, and I'm like, yeah, some things can be looked at. I'm like, yo, that does look a little weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think that rumors are going to be able to really affect his career. Same thing with what's my guy? The Marvel guy, black guy, Jonathan Majors, right? Like, Jonathan Majors started losing everything once his conviction, and once Marvel was riding with Jonathan Majors until he got the, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of my point I'm trying to make. Like, Marvel was like, all right, we're gonna wait to see what happens, because people lie, and it's just rumor. At this point, everything is a rumor until somebody come out, because on one side you got people saying this, and the other side they like, nah, y'all just y'all feeding into it, whatever. I don't personally know. I just think that companies that want to make money with him are not going to sever ties until something actually comes out that shows like, nah, bro, you was wilding. A woman got to come out and take him to court, something of that nature, type of litigation needs to happen.
You're talking about Drake. Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah, Jonathan Drake. So yeah, that's just my POV. I think he has too large of a fan base Like he's not. Yeah, that could happen to a lot of other artists. But I think with him, he's gonna be able to just drop, bro. Like I think his next single is gonna go just like any other single he does. Like it's not gonna because his fans is his fans, just like Kendrick fans is Kendrick fans, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna sway. Like people like, oh, he's losing fans. No, he's not. His numbers are still the same. Like his fans, Spotify, and they're still listening because they're diehard fans, just like Kendrick fans are. So until something comes out to make people really shift away from that, they're going to be biased to Drake. They're going to be Drake biased. They're going to say, nah, well, defend him and whatever. Now, if it is true, boy, oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just
Boy,
say
oh
that
boy.
I think right now, yeah. I think right now that what's killing him is that one. I think he was like, was it 23 at the time? That one with that girl on stage, that 17-year-old girl who he brought up on stage, which I will defend him in this sense where it's like maybe maybe he didn't know, he just bring up a random girl, but the problem is when he was on stage, she told him her age, and he's like, oh, and the way he kissed her, everybody was like, nah, bro. So I don't know. But that's the one. That's the one video. I don't know if you saw that one, but that's the one
Yes, I
video
did.
yeah, that's the one that everybody's holding against him right now. So
Yeah, that video is kind of crazy. I'm not going to hide you.
yeah,
Even my girlfriend was arguing over that. She was like, did you see this? I was like, no, she sent it to me. I was like, hey, bro, that's very weird. There's a lot of weird activities on stage. Now, granted, she came out and said, y'all overreacting. My dad brought me to the concert.
yeah,
It wasn't nothing like that, right? Like
she did.
like the actual girls that
Yeah, she
people
did.
are accusing him of doing stuff with are coming out and saying, Billie Eilish, all these different, they're saying like, nah, y'all just wilding. We was just cool. So
Yeah.
take that for how you take it. They could just be capping to save face or whatever, or they could be telling the truth. That video though was very weird. It was. I'm not even gonna hold you because he didn't pull her up on stage. He didn't know, but once he did find out, it was kind of like he was shocked, but then he didn't retreat enough for me. Like he didn't just be like, hell nah, get your ass off the stage.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It was. I don't know if he was trying to make her feel comfortable. I don't know what was going on in that video. I admit it. That was extra weird to me. So I kind of was like, oh, dang, I don't like that, bro. What you doing? But I think that even still, it's not enough to affect someone's career. I don't think it's enough for that. I just don't think it's enough of someone on his level. Like if he was just like somebody, Drake could lose 100,000 fans and it'd be okay. He's gonna still sell out tours and make millions off his records, right? It'll have to be Epstein like Diddy like some like a team of the lawyer Crump nigga come with what I'm saying, 3 girls and they like, no, he did this to me, this is what it is, and we're filing a suit against Drake. And then at that point I think even me at that point I'll be like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
I'm a realist to the point of that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 more things I just want to say real quick. The one thing I want to know how you feel about this, and then I'll tell you my views after. What about, because there's a report right now where Drake basically left America. They on the news they show that he flew his son all the way over there to London, and he sold all of his homes in LA, and basically it's going to stay in Canada. Some people are saying that, because of the beef, there's people are looking into him out here, so that's why he's running out of America. What do you feel about it?
I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah, he sold all of his LA homes.
I mean, that could be that could be a thing. Like, might not want to be in LA with everything going on, everything he just said and done.
Yeah,
that could be, and it's kind of like a plausible explanation for that, especially if he just went back to Canada. Isn't his new? Well, no, that his big house is in
his big house in
Canada. Yeah, what's it called? The embassy or whatever.
Embassy, yeah, embassy.
Yeah, That house
that's
is
in Canada.
is over there anyway. So like,
Yeah.
but if he felt the need, because you never know, like, because even Game said, like, I think I seen an interview with Game said some people have said, like, I don't know if this is recently or back in the day. Well, I guess when Drake and Diddy was having problems, that people was calling around trying to get him touched, and like he said, Game said one of the people that people was calling was him because he's one of them niggas out there in LA, and he wasn't allowing it. So what people gotta understand too is the connections that people make are strong. Like I think that he might not want to be in LA right now? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
agree with that.
Absolutely. Why would he want to be in Los Angeles right now? Not just because of the beef he got with Kendrick, but he did do the Tupac thing. He's just not welcomed here. Why would I want to live in LA and on every block I'm hearing, they not like us? They like us. It would piss like every block, nigga. Like, I'm leaving, going to another country, bro. Like, I've heard that song everywhere.
Yeah, me
just
too.
Online, in the streets, like it's everywhere. So if it's a lot that can contribute, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot that can contribute to the fact that he's probably like, let me get the fuck out of here. You know, I'm assuming that seems plausible. That seems plausible.
So to me, because when I saw the story, I feel like because it takes a while, especially the houses he had, takes a while to sell those. And just the time frame of it, I feel like he already had that in the works. So I don't like I'll give him that benefit of the doubt, me personally, because I'm like,
right.
House like that takes a while to sell. And like basically he sold those houses at the end of the beef, and that it's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna hold a lighter to that necessary narrative, you know, because I'm just like,
right.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
true.
I think he already had that pre-planned, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, because there is some legitimacy. I understand the argument that people are saying, but to me, it's like,
Yeah,
that
makes
one's.
sense. It was already. I mean, bro was on tour doing these diss songs, bro.
Yeah.
Like niggas, like that's another reason why I feel like that's another thing I gotta give him in his corner. Kendrick ain't on tour, the nigga at home. Drake was on tour, having to go off the tour to record diss songs. Like, I just gotta give credit where credit is due, bro. Given the circumstances, it was kind of just like, yo, he did the best he could.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would want to flee LA so fast. I don't think it was a fast process. Drake's good in LA. That's what's crazy. He know like he told niggas I'm just as damn near as good as you is in LA, nigga. Like he ain't the thing about him, he doesn't go around making enemies. I believe he has people that he be cool with and they become enemies, but he don't go around to these places and be like, yeah, let me start some shit and not bequeath what he's strategic. He wants to be good and accepted everywhere he goes. That's why people are like, he goes to repercussions. Well, he's that's why he can go wherever he can go. He can go to LA. He can't probably go right now. I wouldn't go now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still think he'd be able to go, but it would just be stressful. Like everywhere he go out here, niggas, because LA niggas is different. So LA niggas is different. You coming out of LA, nigga, you didn't say what you said. They would just be on his head.
Yeah.
But I think as time goes on, man, like people gotta remember, we are in a very fast-paced culture right now, and everything with time will dwindle. So there will be a time where nobody's even talking about this anymore. And it'll be in the back of their subconscious until it's brought up again. Drake's gonna drop, Kendrick's gonna drop, Cole's gonna drop, and then nobody's gonna even, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's really gonna be focused on like Cole's gonna drop his next shit, and niggas ain't about to be like, oh, but you didn't get in the hip hop rap beef. Like niggas is gonna be like, no, bro, this is a fire song. Now it'll always be in the back of their mind, right? Like, you know, it'll always just be there, you know what I'm saying? And whatever little stuff, the allegations against Drake, however they feel, will always be in the back of their mind. But if Drake drops a fire album or a tape or something this summer, niggas is finna burn up to it. It's not like niggas gonna be like, nah, man. I'm like, no, bro. If it's a fire song, they're gonna because the time will. They'll be focused on some other shit. Diddy might be popping by then. You know what I'm saying? It might be a whole other drama. Nigga, like, nigga, I'm focused on Diddy right now. I don't even remember what Drake did. So, like, that's the advantage that a lot of these people have when they do stupid shit, is that time will pass and something else will be the new trending story, you know?
Yeah. And the last thing I want to finish off with is that I'm sure you heard about the shootings at Drake's house, and to me, I'm not really cool with that. That's the part I'm like, that's not right. I guess they say they had people jumping the fence to try to get in his house. They had to stop him. One of his security guards got shot over a drive-by. That I just want to put that out there. Like, I'm not cool with that situation at all. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
And that was in Canada.
Yeah, that was in Canada.
Yeah, and I think that had absolutely nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
they also hit up one of his stores too, one of his OVO stores.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they hit one of his OVO stores out there, and they spray tagged, not like us, on the window. So, like, bro, there's Kendrick fans around the world too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that rock with Kendrick, and you got to think, in your hometown, you got hometown haters already. Like, you didn't need a beef to get them started. They've been hating you since you didn't blew up and left the city and doing tours and being the biggest rapper in the world. So, like, that just gave them fuel to actually do something.
Yeah.
So once you get into it, you know what I'm saying? You get the most haters where you from. So I'm not surprised that somebody did something stupid, because it would make no sense for Kendrick to be involved, or TDE, PG Lang, nobody to be involved in that whatsoever. Yeah. There's no benefit in it. He won the battle. He has the biggest song, #1 chart-topping song. Yeah. Why would he do that? There's no need to.
Yeah,
it's done. It's over. So it would have to more logically be somebody from his hometown that was hot, that was probably already pissed at him, use this as an opportunity to get some clout so he can go to his homies and say, look on the news, nigga, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I could agree with that.
Stupid stuff like that. Yeah, which is really pathetic, but it suits this social media clout age we live in. So
social media kind of take things a little bit too far. But I just want to say, like, I mean, I hope this security guard's doing well. But I just was like, that ain't cool. But I do agree. I don't think Kendrick TD had anything to do with that at all. It doesn't make any sense. I think just some, like you said, opportunistic. I think some of those guys may have some mental illnesses, taking it too serious.
Yeah. So, guys are doing that online, so I wouldn't be surprised if you doing it in real life.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about it. I don't know. Just wanted to talk about that last thing. And I mean, I'll put it like this, man. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be looking forward to Drake's next album. I want to see how it does, because I think his next album will tell everybody where he's going to stand. I do agree, because you made a really great point of, we do live in a very fast society right now. So everybody's going to be looking for the next thing. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just gonna wait and see. I would just say with Drake, just kind of lay low and just chill for a little bit and just let all the stuff blow over, and then come back and we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, man, that's the best thing you can do.